Good morning, boys and girls. It's lovely to see everybody again. Please make sure you've got your pen and paper at the ready because you're going to need it all the way through today's session. We're going to wake up our brains by thinking about double L and LE endings. We looked at this previously, so hopefully this should just be a recap. If you find it a little bit tricky, you can just go back to one of the other videos where I explain it a little bit more. So tell somebody at home, when would I use double L and when would I use LE? Great. You'd use LE if there was a consonant and you'd use double L if there was a short vowel. Can you remember the 5 short vowels in our alphabet? We have A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. And if we hear one of those sounds right before our L, we do it as a double L. We can never leave an L at the end of the word on its own. We either have to double it or we have to add LE. So if I hear the L sound at the end of a word, but I don't hear one of my short vowels before it, I hear any other letter, a consonant, I would write LE. So, for instance, the word bells. I think I can hear the bells. Let's think. Can I hear a short vowel? B-E-Ls. Yes, I can hear that E. So I know I've got to double it. B-L. There's my short vowel telling me to double the L. And it's a plural. I can hear more than one. Bells. Bells. What about in the word candle? I lit a beautiful candle. Candle, it's going to have this LE ending on it because K and L. There's a D sound, which is a consonant. It's not one of our vowel sounds before the LE, before the L sound. So I need to write it as an LE. K and L. I can't leave that L on its own at the end of a word. I have to follow one of my rules. With your pen at the ready, could you write the word smelly? My socks were really smelly. Which ending does it have? Double L or LE? I'm going to put it on my board. There's my short vowel and it comes right before my L. L. So I know I need to double the L. And the word was smell-y. How do I write the E sound at the end of a word? You're right, I put a Y. Smelly. Could you write the word handle? I had to clean the handle. Which ending will it have? Show a grown-up at home and get them to check it, and I'm going to put it on my board. H and L. Right before the L sound is a D, and we know that's a consonant. It's not one of our vowels, so I'm not going to double the L. I'm going to write LE. Handle. We're going to do one more. Could you do the word simple? I solved a simple challenge. Simple. I'm going to put it on my board. Simple. Now I know I can't leave that L on its own at the end of a word. So let's look at the letter before it. It's a P. It's not one of our short vowels, so it must be a consonant, which means I have to add L-E. Fabulous. Turn over your piece of paper, or if you've still got room, you can do your next bit of work underneath. I'm going to rub my board clean so I've got a bit more room. Because today we're going to look at suffixes. And a suffix is a part of a word that comes at the end. I'm going to have the root part of the word with a bit added on the end. So I have my ing ending. We know this one already. 3 letters and it's the ing. Sometimes some boys and girls forget the g and they write happening. But we know it's happening and we have to write that G on the end. So we have our ing suffix. We also have a past tense suffix. Do you know what it is? Yes, it's our ED, our grandma and granddad. Now remember, we can always hear granddad, but we can never hear grandma. But grandma has to be included. We have to write her, because otherwise the word doesn't make sense. So we know these 2 suffixes already. We also know this one, although you might not think of it as a suffix, but it is. We know E, R, better letter. And sometimes that can be used as a suffix as well, like warmer. I was warmer inside than outside. But we've also got another suffix that some boys and girls might have looked at before, but it might be new to other children. Est. Sometimes we might hear it as ist. It's not I, it's an e. So I know these 3 letters make the est sound, the est suffix. Like in the word biggest. There it sounds like an I, but ig, ist. But I have to write it as an e. And to remember that, we have 3 superheroes. An e, a s and a t, an e, an s and a t. And these 3 superheroes always come together. They are a trio. That's what we say when there's 3 of them. Est, the 3 superheroes. And this is the one we're going to look at a little bit more today. I want to write the word softest. I have the softest blanket on my bed. Softest. Well, we know how to do the root part of the word soft. Soft, and I know that's the root part because if I took off the est suffix, it still makes sense on its own. Soft, ist, it sounds like this, doesn't it? Soft, ist with my I. But I know it's not that suffix. That doesn't exist. It might sound like that, but we don't write it like that. I need to write it with my est. Softest. I want to write the word brightest. It was the brightest day outside. Brightest. I fly high. With my G going down into the soil and my H going up to the sky. Bright. Is. Now it sounds like an I again, but we know it's our superhero suffix. So it's E-S-T. Brightest. With your pen and paper, could you have a go at writing the word loudest? I made the loudest noise at home. Loudest. Pause the video if you need more time to write. I'm going to put it on my board. Ooh, ow, 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 shout it out. Loud, loud. That's the root part of the word. It makes sense on its own. Let's add our superhero suffix. Loudest, loudest. Could you write the word smartest? I am the smartest boy in the school. I am the smartest girl in the class. Smartest. I'm going to put it on my board. Start the car. Smart. smart. That bit makes sense on its own. It's the root part of the word. We're going to add our suffix on the end. Smartest. Smartest. Fabulous. Let's write a sentence. Remember, if you haven't got room, turn over your page. The sentence is, your oldest brother is telling tales. Your oldest brother is telling tales. Have a go at writing the sentence. Remember, capital letters and full stops. Your oldest brother is telling tales. If you need more time, carry on pausing the video. I'm going to put it on my board. Your. We're starting with a capital letter. There's no leading line and it doesn't go down into the soil. It sits firmly on the grass. Your. It sounds like or a bright torch, but we know that tricky word has an in the middle. Your. Oldest. We know how to spell that tricky word. Old. That's the root part of the word. I'm adding my suffix, which is today's new learning. Oldest. Your oldest brother. Can you remember this from the other week? Sometimes it might sound like an but we write it as a So it'd be like a brother, but we know the can make an sound. Brother. Which type of comes at the end of a word? A better letter. Brother. Your oldest brother is telling. Now that's the root part of the word because it makes sense on its own. Tell. And I spotted a short vowel. I hope you spotted it too. L. So what do I need to do to that L? I need to double it. Tell. So there's the root part of the word, and I'm going to add my suffix ing. Telling. Your oldest brother is telling tales. Now tales has a split digraph in it. There's my split digraph. A, make a cake. Tail, come back to the sound in the middle. Tails. And I could put a full stop, or if I was adding emotion to my voice, your oldest brother is telling tales. I could use a exclamation mark. Why is tales a homophone? Tell somebody at home. Yeah, this type of tales is like a story, but I could also have TALS. With A snail in the rain, tails as in a bunny had a tail, the physical tail. Brilliant. Let's look at some tricky words. I'm just going to rub my board clean. We're going to have a look at a word that's tricky, but it can have one of our suffix endings on it. It's the word improve. Improve. I always improve my work. Up to this point, we can sound it out. Improve. Now, it sounds like our oo sound, but actually, it's got this ending on it. We could say it's got a split digraph, improve, but we say it as improve. Now I can add one of these suffix straight onto the end. Improved. I improved my work, and all of a sudden I've turned it into the past tense. Improved. I haven't had to add an extra E because there already was one. I've just added Grandad. I've just added the D. Improved. Fabulous phonics today, boys and girls. I hope you've had a wonderful time. See you all soon.